Season 2, Episode 3 of The Old Man is 62 minutes long, and the events of this episode take place right after Episode 2, where after you hear the gunshot in the cave, you're like, what happened? What's going on? We see Faraz Hamzat come face to face with the Dan Chase character, and it's like, oh, okay, because they haven't seen each other about in 30 to 40 years for that matter, after the Soviet-Afghan War, and after evidently Faraz Hamzat claims that Dan Chase stole Parwana from him. We then see Faraz lift up his gun and point it at Dan, and then a gunshot rings out. We see that Harold Harper is the one who shot Faraz Hamzat, but he shot him near the abdomen rib cage. He falls down. Parwana comes in, and it's an absolute crazy reunion between Dan, Harold, and Angela, or Emily for that matter. She goes by so many names. And she sees that Faraz Hamzat is shot. She tends to his wounds, and she says, I have to get him back to the village. I'm not going anywhere. We have to figure things out. And it's like, oh, okay. And then you see Dan and Howard like, what is really going on? You know? So then we see Omar, who is really in his own world, the Taliban intelligence agency, who is, trying to threaten Khadija, who is like, where is Faraz? I want to talk to him. Who is this woman? And it's like, oh, what is... So they're going to leave. They're going to leave and do their own thing in a way. And the reason that they do leave is because Khadija's son comes out from a helicopter with a bag full of money and says to Omar, Morgan Boat did so-and-so, did this, and this is the money and whatever it is. But then he tells his mother that Morgan Boat, played by Joel Grey, or so far the Old Man is what he is entitled in this series, or whoever the old man is, kind of freezes their assets in every U.S. bank account, offshore bank accounts, and it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So as Omar and his so-called Taliban crew are leaving, I don't know if I can actually say that word on review videos or on this YouTube, but I'm going to see what happens. So the tallies, I'll leave it at that, the tallies basically, leave, but then we see the young boy who was teaching Parwana how to kind of speak English, and it's, technically Parwana's second cousin because her first cousin is the woman, and the young boy just slaps the shit out of Omar, and he's running and running, and then the cousin comes out and she gets shot right in front of her son, and then all hell breaks loose, gunfire, back and forth, this and that. And then we see that Dan and Harold kind of talk to each other. It's like, do you realize that she is now being and showing that she is now Parwana and she's leaving her other past behind? And Dan's like, I don't think she's doing that, so far and so on, whatever it is. So Faraz goes back to the village, and, Parwana, or Emily, or Angela, whatever you want to call her, whatever she goes by, makes that idea that she should go and, help Faraz Hamzat. And it's like, that one show you always watch that has that one annoying character? She is that annoying character in this. I don't know why, but I have a change of heart after the ending of this episode. So she goes to help Faraz, and Omar's like, I want to know what's going on. What happened? What is this? What is that? Who are you? Why are you here? But then she's like, my name is Parwana Hamzat, and he's like, oh, okay. And then she sticks him in the neck with like a pick or a knife, and then bang, 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 all shooting happens, all hell breaks loose, and Harold basically is on the satellite phone saying that we have to avoid certain things because they're not going to touch down here. But the chopper comes in and kind of in a way helps clear out the tallies, and it's like, oh, okay. And then Parwana at the end of this episode does something that everyone witnesses, which just makes her a badass, and now you really know what kind of person she is, and that she's acknowledging that she is the daughter of Faraz Hamzat. And basically Dan and Harold kind of help Parwana in a way, and that's the end of the episode. And it's like, whoa, you didn't see that ending coming at all. I mean, it's a slow burn. This series is a slow burn. It takes a while to get to, but then the interesting thing is that we're going to see Dan, Harold, and Morgan Boat come face to face with each other to figure out what the real kind of idea is of what is really going on and how Morgan Boat has his hand in the cookie jar. And it's like, all right, the tallies are there. What will happen now with after the events of what happened at the outside of Faraz Hamzad's compound? And it's like, all right, how are Dan and Harold going to rescue Angela or Emily or Parwana or whatever she goes by? The writing is really good. The tension is there. There are scenes where there were not many action sequences in the first season, but the second season really, really picks up with the action sequences, especially in this episode. For this being the third episode of the second season, it's done really, really well. Altogether, this season has 8 episodes, so it's going to get going. It's going to pick up. The story is going to evolve. Much more dialogue scenes will happen. But the way that Jeff Bridges, John Lithgow, Alia Shawkat, and Joel Grey play their roles, even Amy Brenneman and Jacqueline Antamarian, who plays Khadijah, is really, really good. It's like the dominoes are falling, but are they falling the right way for these certain characters? And what will happen now that all this transpired and after the events of what Parwana did, which was really, really shocking, and I didn't expect it, especially after seeing everyone watch her do what she did, which was really, really badass in my opinion. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this episode, season 2, episode 3 of The Old Man. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the story, the dialogue, how everything came together? What do you think will happen now with the tallies and after the events of everything? Do you think Khadijah and her son will get their assets unfrozen by Morgan Boat? What is the big thing and big conspiracy that is happening in this series? And, where will Parwana kind of, by the end of it, what side will she choose? Will she go with Dan and Harold, or will she stay where she is with her actual father, Faraz Hamzad? And will more truths come out? Because there's still so many questions that need to be answered. And I'm sure we'll get those answers to those questions. Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week to my Season 2, Episode 4 review of The Old Man.